Would you like to know the difference between a good day and a bad day? Well, probably 7-8 hours of a good sleep. And why? Well, I'll tell you straight away. Actually, do you want to know what is the difference and the secret in order to have like more energy, a better physique, and in general a better life? Well, no secrets at all. It's the same. You need to sleep better. Why? In this video I will explain you why the sleep is one of the most important tools that you can use for your health, your performances, and for a better life overall, because this will affect your life even more than the diet and the nutrition quite often. And at the end of this video I will give you a couple of tips in order to start to sleep better since tonight. Okay, where to start? Let's start from the classic phrase. Our tissue will recover during the sleep. If you are a fitness guy or a gym rat, to be like more in the slang, let's say. If you are a fitness rat, you know very well that everyone says that our muscle will grow during the sleep. What does it mean? It means that basically, yeah, you smash your muscle during the workout session and you will help them to grow through the nutrition. Yes, but they will grow through a good sleep session. Why? Because basically it's the phase where our body tends to recover all the damage that we do during the day. But this doesn't affect just the muscle. If I'm talking about the muscle, if I do this example, is because if you don't know me, basically, and if you're new to this channel, I started like a fitness trainer, a nutritionist, and now I'm moving more like a self-improvement space, let's say. So, more wide view, let's say. And it affects even the mental capacity, and this is something that I wanted to focus on a lot lately. Because basically your brain will be with more clarity and even a higher speed. What does it mean? That our memory is, first of all, improved, because basically whatever we do during the day, whatever we study during the day, we reorganize everything, making it better, as I said in the last vlog, basically. And this happens for different reasons, but basically our sleep will reorganize everything, will make the connection that we need to have like during the night. Because yeah, during the day we have different thoughts, different things, etc. And during the night we reorganize in a more clear way. That's why sometimes when you wake up you have so much clarity, like wow, now I know what I need to do. And this happens quite often, especially if you start to sleep good. But it's not only that, you will have even more focus, for example, because you will notice that sleeping more, you will have more concentration. Especially if you are a student, for example, you will recognize how big difference you can have like sleeping more in terms of memorization and in terms of focus during the day. But even if you're not a student, you will recognize how important it is to have like more clarity in what you do during the day just with a good sleep. How many times you didn't sleep very well and you were like so confused? For example, a very common thing, you were drunk, for example, and you had a bad night of sleep. How did you feel the day after? Okay, forget about the hangover, the sickness, etc. But the mental capacity, how it was, yeah, it's even affected from this stuff. But if you don't drink and you don't sleep, basically you will notice that there are some similarities between the two situations, right? This is the point. And this affects even the creativity, because let's say I said that with the memorization we have like a reorganization of our thoughts, but when our thoughts are reorganized we can connect them better, and that's why it happens a better memorization but even a better creativity, and that's so important. But of course this will affect every area of life, so it's not only the body, it's not only the mind. Actually even the body can be affected in another way. For example, through the consequences of like a good clarity. Why? Okay, we say that we have a better muscle recovery. We can tell that if you sleep better, you have a better immunity, let's say. Your immunity system basically will be stronger and more resistant to infection, for example. And you will be even less prone to injuries. But not only that, about the body is like more for the hormonal component. Why? Because basically you will have a better management of your anger, first of all, of your stress and your anxiety. And what have those things in common? Anger, stress, and anxiety. Yes, they ultimately lead to unconscious decision, let's say. Not unconscious, because sometimes they are very conscious, but let's say maybe unwanted. Maybe you are on diet and you feel much more angry, let's say, if you don't sleep well, or due to the stress you eat much more, or for anxiety. How many times you ate for anxiety? I mean, I can talk for myself, I can tell you many times. This is the point. Yes, sometimes this can be and become like eating disorders, yes, but even for people who don't have any eating disorders, this can affect your daily decision. And imagine that you sleep very bad for a long period of time. What are the consequences on your body just for this hormonal dysregulation? Yes, you got it. That's why it's so important. And this affects even the mood, for example, because yeah, we talk about the hormonal situation, but the hormonal situation will affect even the mood. You know, the cortisol levels, when they are high, for example, for high stress, will affect your mood. And when your mood is upset, this has different consequences. And you know, when you are very with like a lot of anger on, you can react much more to the things, and well, you have like a less resilience basically, because you cannot like come back to the baseline where you get anxiety or frustration. So it's like you keep that for longer, and even your decisions or the way you act with your peers, for example, this can be affected a lot by your sleep. How many times you slept very bad and then you were very reactive in front of your family, your friends, your peers, your co-workers? This is the point. So basically you lose like the clarity, the stability, even like your way to act, your character basically changes in that moments. And that's why it was in the past even a way to torture people, like sleep deprivation. So yeah, and you can understand why. And so how to fix it then? Well, let's start with the basic stuff. For example, regular timetable. So first of all, go to sleep and wake up always to similar times. Like it doesn't matter what time is it. I mean, a bit matters, to be honest. Let's try to be regular. But if you cannot, let's say you are a night worker, try to be regular. Let's say you work from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, then try to regulate the rest of the day. For example, go to sleep from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for example. Should be 8 hours, yeah. So try to do this and be regular. So first thing first, try to be regular. Yes, even like respecting the time, the sunshine, etc. Yes, this will affect. But let's say this is kind of, I don't want to say secondary, but if you cannot do otherwise, well, focus on your regularity first. Then environment. Well, if you live like me in UK, for example, so in the north of the world, basically you will notice that during summertime, even at 10 p.m. it's sunny. So yeah, it's like a bit tricky, I understand. Especially what I do normally, I wake up very early, like at 4 a.m, even 3 a.m. sometimes, and I go to sleep like at 6 p.m, 7 p.m. So for me it's always sunny. There is no stop during summertime. So yeah, what you can do is try to cover up. Like the best thing should be like a dark environment. Then keep it cold. So if you can, because for example, if you are in a warm country, I come from Italy and I know in Sicily how warm can be like in summertime. It's terrible. I sleep like in the floor or under the AC, and sometimes I still very warm, let's say. So yeah, I totally understand. But if you can, should be like dark, cold, and silence. For the silence, probably this is the easiest part, but depends where you live, of course. And if you don't have AC and you want to open the windows, can be a bit tricky to have like silence and cold during the nighttime in summer, for example. But you know, this is my suggestion, what you can do. So let's try to see what affects your sleep a bit more. There are some people that even in a noisy environment, they don't give a shit and they sleep like perfectly. So yeah. And well, now let's go to the very important stuff, in my opinion. This throw away. No, literally. Just 30-60 minutes before to go to sleep, first of all, because it can give you like a spike on dopamine, like so many things in your mind can be affected by the simple screen. Of course, not just the phone, but even the computer, TV, because you know the light can affect your sleep. My recommendation is to give up the phone or any screen 60 minutes to 2 hours, even earlier, to going to sleep. This is very important. So yeah, this is a recommendation. And as Italian, as every Italian, what I will suggest you is to be careful even to this. Of course, caffeine is not just in the coffee. So there are so many things like Coke Zero, and even the chocolate, for example, has caffeine inside. So just be careful. But why? Because basically, the caffeine is not that you take one shot and you stay like energetic for 1, 2, 3 hours if you're sensible. Because basically this is our perception, 1, 3 hours. But to be honest, this can last for literally 5 to 10 hours, because the half-life of the caffeine is 5 hours, the half-life. So it means that for 10 hours, the caffeine amount that you take can affect your sleep. And this can ruin, yeah, maybe you can sleep, but can ruin the quality of your sleep. So this is such an important thing. So my suggestion is if you go to sleep, I don't know, at 11 p.m., try to stop taking caffeine from 1 p.m. So basically your last coffee should be lunchtime. And remember, if you're English, even the tea contains caffeine. That is called thein, but yes, it's the same. So just be mindful on what to do, because this can change totally, not only the single day, but on the long term, your life. So the next time that you, I don't know, you want to feel better, you want to improve your day, keep in mind those small things. And yeah, if you're wondering if you need to delay your sleep time in order to finish something, well, think twice about it, because let's be honest, yes, maybe you can finish something, but how this will affect the day after, and then the day after, and then the day after, on the long term, I don't think it is worth it. So try to go in bed like on time and improve for the day after and on the long term. Think about the long term. And for this night, well, start from this night to treat the sleep like something similar to a workout, like in a serious way, and programming it, because it's very important. And then let me know in the comments if your days will change or if you need another dose of coffee. That said, I'll see you next time, tomorrow.